Hi everybody, this is Al from Mass Outdoor Tramper today, and I'm going to bring you my version of the Altoid Tin Fire Kit. This is full of redundancy and no-fail fire starting in one small kit. The kit contains most items that you can readily put together from items around your house or easily available at stores. Very common items. I'm also going to demonstrate how to use all the resources in the kit for your ease of use. Alright, I'd like to take a second and talk to you about the ferro rod and the striker real quick. Basically, this ferro rod is 3 inches long by 3/16 inches wide, and the striker is basically just a hacksaw blade. These teeth right here on the top are what you would use when you want to get little shavings and scraping, like off the piece of fat wood that's in the kit. You would take the teeth and kind of scrape down the length of the fat wood, make yourself a little pile, quarter size, nickel size pile to get the fire started. Basically, also, when you are using a ferro rod, you don't really want to hold it at a slight angle and do it. You could actually break it right about here. So you want to hold it up at a little bit higher of an angle when you're striking down. That way. So you want to hold it up a little bit higher versus down this way. Again, you don't want it to snap right here. The other way to do it correctly also is to hold your striker near your object and pull back on the ferro rod. The foil can be used for a few things in the kit. Basically, it can be used to keep your tinder dry, keeps it off of wet ground or even the snow. You should actually always build your fire on top of some sticks or something anyway to get them up off the ground or the damp ground, or keep everything dry. You can also use it to cook a piece of fish. You could use it for a little micro container to boil water if you had to. But the main use for it in the kit is to keep your tinder off the wet ground and keep it dry. Next item in the kit is your lighter. That's pretty self-explanatory. You can use that to light any of your tinders, light your candle, so that you can save the butane in the lighter and actually light your tinder. Worst case scenario, you can also even use it as a striker. If it's out of fluid, it'll actually still give sparks. It obviously has fluid, so it's kind of tough to do here, but you can also actually scrape the plastic off of this and use it as a tinder also. So if this is run out, don't actually throw it away. You can actually scrape down with that little the teeth on the blade on the striker and actually use the shavings from this. That'll actually light it too. Next in the kit, you have 12 strike anywhere matches. You can tell by the little white tips on them. Also, the candle is in this package here too, your birthday candle. There is also a striker in the back, basically just a piece of sandpaper which has been checked, lights these fine. So you have a striker, but these are strike anywhere matches. They'll work on a pair of jeans, on a zipper, on a rock, basically anything with some kind of a rough textured surface at all. When you are striking a match, the actual, supposedly the correct way to strike a match is to actually push it. If you pull it this way, what normally always happens, when you do this, it breaks right here. So they say the actual correct way is to actually hold it at an angle and push this way, or even this way, come towards yourself. So that is the correct way to light a match without actually doing this, and then it's snapping right at your finger there because you're putting all the pressure right there. Petroleum jelly coated cotton balls in a straw. Basically, I cut the straw to length and I take a little lighter and I melt the end here, and then I stuff a cotton ball down here, stuff another one after rubbing them, getting a lot of petroleum jelly onto it, and then I seal the other end. Basically, this is going to act exactly like the chapstick did, but they actually work a little bit better and last a little bit longer. Alright, first on the petroleum jelly cotton balls that are in the thing, basically you just want to cut that open. Then you're going to get some out. And you don't need the whole thing. You just take a few pieces out. And there you go. I'm going to shut that off now and bring it outside because that's giving off a ton of black smoke. All right, now for my personal favorite, the fat wood shavings. We're actually going to use the teeth on the scraper, and we'll make some scrapings. This is going to be just a small amount because I don't really want it to burn everywhere. And there you go. You can see the black smoke. That's the resin. That's the terpene or the turpentine. And this is pine wood, fat wood, sap from the pine tree that goes to the areas where it needs to heal itself. And you'll smell it. If you break off a piece of pine, all this orangey red smells just like turpentine. You'll know you have fat wood. But you have it in your kit. Jute twine is a natural tinder, but it's a man-made product. This is actually one of the better tinders, very common. You can get it at any big box store. You can store it like this, cut bigger strips. These are 3-inch pieces. These are what will be getting in the kit. Basically, to process these, you just untwist them, and then basically again you just kind of unroll them, pull them, and basically with any tinder you kind of need to process it. You need to get as much of its surface area as you can on it. Let me get a little pile of this together and we will ignite it with the ferro rod. Two other things I want to mention about ferro rods. What I do is I actually make a little jute twine lanyard. That way you've always got some tinder with you. Well, you can always ignite your ferro rod or shower sparks with it with a carbon steel knife. And you have to make sure that the spine area is very flat and 90 degrees so it shoots a good spark. Another very good tinder is an alcohol prep pad, but basically you'll open them up, kind of squish them up a little bit. Again, take your ferro rod, again, excellent. They don't last a huge amount of time, but something like this, you can maybe get some jute or shred up some bark, some very, very small dry twigs, to get your fire going. There you go, alcohol prep pad. Okay, next is the measly little lonely cotton ball. Basically, I like to kind of take them. This is how you're going to get it in the kit. I kind of just stretch it out a little bit so it'll fit in the kit a little bit. But by doing that, you also now can have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now basically, like I was saying before, you want to get as much surface area. See all those little hairs? One strike. Here are two very common, very good fire starters. Basically, you can take your chapstick and this will help extend it. It'll basically make it act like a little candle. And then the next one is the hand sanitizer. The chapstick or the Carmex or the other one that has the beeswax, they're all basically wax. So they're kind of basically a petroleum-based product. So again, it kind of acts like the wax in a candle and will help extend it. Hand sanitizer is basically an alcohol-based product. And we'll give you a quick little demonstration of both of those. But there you go, little extender for your cotton balls. Two very common products, chapstick and hand sanitizer. Just another little added note with the hand sanitizer and chapstick. In an emergency, I mean, you could cut off a piece of bandana, cut off a piece of the bottom of your shirt tail, you know, the bottom of your jeans. So there are many things you can actually have on you that you probably don't even really think about, that you can add this product, these two, and you know, give you a good little fire starter. All right, now that we've got our kit and everything it'll do, one of the most important things is knowing what kind of wood to burn. The rule is, the first thing, there are 3 parts to the wood. There is tinder, kindling, and fuel. Your tinder should be about match size or pencil lead size. After that gets going, what you want to add next is about pencil size. That's your kindling. And then next they say thumb size, or roughly about the size of a lighter. That's your fuel. So when you're lighting your fire, once you get your little tinders going, you have your twigs, your tinder, your kindling, your fuel. Very important. This video was made to show you how to build and use components for a tried and true basic fire kit. If you liked it, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, Al.